Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So we have some good news in today's video, at least for Social Security beneficiaries, as the expected increase for 2024 for the COLA has actually seen a projected increase from the previous month. So we're going to be going over how much you can expect to receive, whether you receive Social Security retirement benefits, SSI benefits, or SSDI benefits. So we're going to be covering all of those numbers. And then we're also just going to be looking at the inflation data that was released yesterday as well for the month of August, which unfortunately actually was some bad news as inflation once again is headed off into the wrong direction. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features and all the numbers regarding inflation and how much of an increase you can expect for your COLA in 2024, leave a comment below on how you've been dealing with inflation. Have you had to adjust your lifestyle and how much you spend on groceries or different things that you spend on? How have you coped with inflation over the past couple of years? What tips can you give everyone on how you dealt with inflation and the rising prices? Have you had to switch over to different foods? Have you had to switch your lifestyle in any way? And also, where you live, have you noticed that inflation is still going up on certain goods and services that you would like to leave in the comment section below? But diving right into it today, of course, we're going to be covering the inflation numbers. So from CNBC, August core inflation, excluding food and energy, rose 0.3% hotter than expected. Of course, the CPI actually rose even higher than that at 0.6%. So the consumer price index, which measures cost across a broad array of goods and services, rose a seasonally adjusted 0.6% for the month and was up 3.7% from 1 year ago, the U.S. Department of Labor reported Wednesday. Economists surveyed by Dow Jones were looking for respective increases of 0.6% and 3.6%. The two numbers were up 0.2% and 3.2% in July. However, excluding volatile food and energy, the core CPI increased 0.3% and 4.3% respectively, against estimates of 0.2 and 4.3%. Federal Reserve officials focus more on core as it provides a better indication of where inflation is heading over the long term. Core was up 0.2% and 4.7% in July. And you can see the chart up on the screen there. While inflation was headed in the right direction downward for the most part of the latter parts of 2022 and the early parts of 2023, we can now see that it is beginning to once again trend upwards on all items, once again back up to 3%. And then another chart here up on the screen, we can see pretty much year over year where inflation is trending on different types of items. So we can see on food, all in all, is up 4.3%. Food away from home is up at 6.5%. And then we can see the different types of food at home here that has gone up the most. Frozen vegetables up 14.7%. So if you're trying to eat healthy, it's not going too well for Americans, up 14.7% on frozen vegetables. Salad dressing at 12.1%. Uncooked beef steaks up over 10%. Apples up 8.5%. And for mothers trying to afford baby formula, that's been difficult too. That's also been up 8.4%. And then, of course, for car owners, for people who own a vehicle, that's been tough as well. Insurance has been up 19.1%. At my last renewal that I had, the insurance that I have at the time, Geico was trying to double my rate. So I always encourage people to shop around on any type of insurance to see the best rate they can get. Even if their insurance isn't going up a whole lot, it doesn't really harm you to shop around to see if you can get an even better rate. Needless to say, I switched from Geico and got a much better rate than them trying to double my rate. So it's been up 19.1%. Motor vehicle repair up 17%. So obviously, inflation in a lot of items in a lot of areas is still going up an extremely high amount and making this lifestyle even more difficult to afford. And then, of course, a tweet from economist Stephen Moore. He mentions that under Trump, median household income increased by $6,500. Under Biden, workers have lost $4,000 in wages. Of course, that is when adjusted for inflation. He's asking, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Let me know in the comment section below your answer to his tweet. Were you better under the economy with Trump as president, or are you better off now with President Biden? And then, of course, we also have a new estimate from the Senior Citizens League. This is in regards to the cost of living adjustment for 2024. Of course, last month that was increased up to 3%. And this month, it's gone up even more, another 0.2 percentage points up to 3.2%. So with the 3.2% adjustment, of course, we do have one more months of data that does need to come in. That's going to be next month. I believe it's October 13th. That's when we're going to have the inflation data for September, and then we're going to have the full third quarter data for 2023, and we're going to be able to compare that data to 2022, and however much that's increased by, that is going to be the cost of living adjustment increase for 2024. That's going to be a guaranteed increase across the board for all Social Security beneficiaries, whether you receive retirement benefits, SSI benefits, or SSDI benefits. So with that said, if 3.2% does indeed end up being the number next month, again, that could change. It could be slightly higher, slightly lower. It's not going to be some massive change. I don't expect it to drop below 3%. And of course, I don't really expect it to rise over 3.5%. But let's just say, theoretically speaking, if it does end up being 3.2%. Here's a chart up on the screen that I did make for the the average or max benefits for different beneficiaries. So we're going to be starting out with the average benefit for retirees. For 2023, the average benefit is $1,827. After the increase in 2024, there is going to be a monthly increase of $58 or an annual increase of $701, bringing the average 2024 benefit up to $1,885. Now, as far as SSDI beneficiaries in 2023, the average benefit is $1,483. After the increase, that's going to boost the 2024 benefit up to $1,530, making a monthly increase of $47, and the annual increase in that case will be $569. Now, as far as SSI beneficiaries go, for individuals in 2023, the maximum benefit is $914. With the 3.2% increase, that's going to bring the monthly increase up to $29, and the total 2024 benefit is going to be $943, bringing, of course, the annual increase of $351. Now, if you are able to get the retirement max benefit and you wait until your full retirement age to start collecting benefits, in 2023, that amount is $3,627. After the increase in 2024, you would then be receiving $3,743, bringing your monthly increase of $116 or an annual increase of $1,308. Now, the Senior Citizens League also gave some statistics on how much people on Social Security have been spending this year after the record increase of 8.7%. Well, of course, Americans know that inflation is on the rise, so they're trying to, budget appropriately and not really spend as much. So they mentioned here that a lot of retirees, in fact, the numbers here, 45% of people on Social Security are spending less than $2,000 per month. Let me know in the comment section below, how does this pair up with you? Are you also trying to spend a whole lot less and really have a tight budget and, be, thrifting appropriately on certain items here? Once again, we have 8% of Americans on Social Security actually spending less than $1,000. They're really, budgeting tightly there. And then, of course, 37% spend between $1,001 and $1,999. So definitely some interesting statistics there, but that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like, consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.